Have you ever wondered how a tiny infant who can barely lift their own head grows up to debate philosophy or solve complex math problems? I mean, that journey from a blank slate to a fully formed mind is one of life's greatest mysteries. Today, we're diving into the work of one of psychology's giants, Jean Piaget, who gave us a brilliant blueprint for how it all happens. So let's get into it. The incredible architecture of the mind, according to Piaget.
This is the central question Piaget dedicated his life to answering. And it's not just about memorizing facts. It's about how we develop the very ability to think, to reason, and to understand the world. How does a mind literally build itself from the ground up?
And this was Piaget's revolutionary answer. Before him, a lot of people thought kids were just, well, tiny, empty vessels waiting to be filled up with information. Piaget flipped that idea completely on its head. He argued that a child is an active builder, a little scientist constantly experimenting with and making sense of their world. They don't just receive knowledge, they construct it.
So, if a child is a builder, what are their tools? Piaget proposed a few fundamental concepts that are basically the mental equivalent of a hammer, a saw, and a set of nails. Let's take a look inside this toolkit.
The first and most basic tool is the schema. Think of a schema as a mental blueprint, or a category. It's an organized pattern of thought or behavior that we use to interpret the world. We have schemas for everything: what a dog is, how to behave in a library, what a chair is for. They're the building blocks of intelligent behavior. But how do we make them?
So let's see a schema get built in real time. A little kid sees a furry, four-legged animal and hears a grown-up say, dog, and boom, they form a schema for dog. 4 legs, fur, a tail. Now, when they see another four-legged, furry animal, like a horse or a cat, they try to use their existing blueprint, pointing and yelling, dog!
This process of trying to fit new things into existing schemas is called assimilation. It's like fitting a new puzzle piece into the puzzle you're already working on. You are assimilating new information into what you already know.
And here we see it in action. The child sees a cat. It's got 4 legs, fur, and a tail. It fits the dog schema. So the child assimilates this new animal into their existing mental box and calls it a dog. The system works for now.
But what happens when the new information just doesn't fit? This is where the magic of learning happens. It's called accommodation. This is when we have to change a schema or create a brand new one to fit a new object or event. It's not about making the information fit. It's about changing the box itself.
This is when a parent or caregiver steps in and corrects them. That's a cat. It says meow, not woof woof. Now the child's brain has to do some work. Dog barks. This new thing meows. They can't fit in the same box. So the child accommodates by creating a new schema, a new blueprint for cat. It's a fundamental leap in understanding.
Let's put these two side by side, because this is the core engine of learning. Assimilation is using what you already know. It's efficient. Accommodation is changing what you know. It's how you grow. One reinforces your current reality, while the other fundamentally expands it.
So this back-and-forth process between assimilation and accommodation is what Piaget called equilibration. Think about it. When the child saw the cat, they were in a state of disequilibrium. Their dog schema wasn't working. By creating a cat schema, they restored balance, or equilibrium. This constant drive for balance is what pushes all cognitive development forward. Okay, now that we have the tools, let's see the structure they build. Piaget proposed that all children pass through 4 distinct stages of cognitive development, like building a house 1 floor at a time. Each stage builds the foundation for the next.
The ground floor is the sensory motor stage, from birth to about 2 years old. Here, infants learn entirely through their senses and physical actions: touching, tasting, seeing, grasping. The landmark achievement of this stage is object permanence, the understanding that things still exist even when you can't see them. It's why a game of peekaboo is so fascinating.
Moving up to the second floor, we have the pre-operational stage, from ages 2 to 7. This is when language explodes and kids start to think symbolically. But their thinking is still very intuitive and not yet logical. A key feature is egocentrism, the inability to see a situation from another person's point of view. They think everyone sees the world exactly as they do.
On the third floor, we find the concrete operational stage, from 7 to 11, and this is a huge leap. Logical thinking begins, but it's mostly tied to concrete,
hands-on things. The big milestone here is understanding conservation, the idea that quantity doesn't change even if the appearance does, like pouring water from a short, wide glass into a tall, skinny one.
Finally, we reach the top floor at age 11 and up, the formal operational stage. This is where abstract thought becomes possible. We can now think about hypotheticals, about concepts like justice and morality. We can reason systematically and ask what-if questions. This is the stage that enables higher-level reasoning.
So here it is, the whole journey laid out. From the purely physical learning of the sensory motor stage, all the way to the abstract reasoning of the formal operational stage, we can see a clear, step-by-step progression of how we build our cognitive abilities.
So why does all of this matter outside of a psychology textbook? Well, because this theory provides a powerful blueprint for education and how we can best support learning.
Piaget's theory completely transformed how we approach teaching. It backs up the idea that children are not vessels to be filled, but fires to be lit. The focus shifts to active, discovery-based learning. It means moving away from rote memorization and toward real understanding, creating environments where students can construct their own knowledge through exploration and hands-on experience.
So what is the ultimate takeaway from this incredible contribution by Piaget?
It really comes down to this powerful summary. 1. Cognitive development happens in stages. There's an order to it. And 2. The child is the main builder of their own intelligence, using their own experiences as the raw material. Learning isn't something that is done to a child, it's something a child does.
And that leaves us with a fascinating final thought. As adults, we operate in the formal operational stage, but think about it. When you're learning a brand new, complex skill, don't you sometimes feel like you're back in an earlier stage, needing concrete examples or hands-on experience before you can grasp the abstract ideas? It makes you think, right? Maybe these stages aren't just floors we build and leave behind, but rooms we can revisit throughout our lives as we learn.